Hello again to another Agakala reaction. Today we will be watching how a 90s sci-fi masterpiece was kneecapped by the Matrix. From Giant Freaking Robot. Okay. And let's just jump in. I have no idea what movie they're talking about, but I have a weird feeling that I definitely seen it. I've seen a lot of science fiction movies in the 90s. I grew up then, so I'll be surprised if I haven't.
As we've made clear on this channel, the 90s were a boom period for original sci-fi movies making their way to movie theaters. It was a truly revolutionary era, thanks to advances in special effects allowing for bigger and stranger sci-fi tales to finally be told on the big screen. Unfortunately, this also means plenty of 90s sci-fi movies were a little too out there for regular audiences. One film has managed to maintain its weirdness over the years and develop the cult following it so rightly deserves, even though it tanked at the box office and was promptly forgotten thanks to another massive sci-fi blockbuster. I'm Drew Deitch, this is Giant Freaking Robot, and we're tuning our brains into one of the best sci-fi films of the 1990s, Dark City.
Dark City? I don't remember that title, but like I said, I watched the movies back then in, what's this? Neck therapy? Mostly in Poland back then still, so the titles were often changed. So I know a lot of movies from back then with their Polish titles, and now I have the other way around, because let's say if I'm watching a movie, I'm watching it mostly here in Ireland and it's in English, so I know the English American like original title, and then I have to actually Google if I'm talking with my family to tell them what movie we go to see, because it could be different. Often titles would be translated into Polish, and often they would be changed as well. So I have to Google what kind of title it's in Poland. Recently I learned that, let's say, Moana, that's the Disney movie that just came out, the second one, it's a cartoon. It's actually called Vaiana in certain countries because of some kind of trademark or something. It's not always because of the trademark, often it's because of just basically being not making sense. Let's say like the Alien, it's called the Alien, and then there's the 8th passenger of Nostromo being the ship that the Alien was happening on. What else is there? Well, the Die Hard, it's translated into Glass Trap, you know, things like that. And apparently people in Poland are always joking that Polish titles are really ridiculous, but then I watched something recently about French titles, and they even beat Polish titles, so.
Let the tuning commence.
Dark City is one of those movies that people seem to either love or have never seen. Whenever you bring up Alex Proyas's 1998
I haven't
sci-fi
seen
noir,
this because I know
those who know what it is almost always react with joy. The film has maintained a strong cult following over the years, with critical adoration coming from none other than our favorite Spawn-loving movie critic, Roger Ebert.
Movies don't have to be just photographed plays, all made up out of dialogue. They can also allow us to see new things in new ways. It's hard to make a movie like this, but Proyas has done it, and Dark City is one of the year's best films.
And yet, Dark City has never been able to properly establish itself as a bona fide classic. For some reason, it has only remained beloved by a relatively small portion of the pop culture populace. Why is that? Let's find out. But first, let's examine exactly why Dark City is such a triumph for science fiction cinema.
What Mr. Hand proposes is our only option. Imprint.
Dark City marks the pinnacle of director Alex Proyas's effects-driven style of filmmaking. He had made a huge impression with The Crow.
It does look good. I don't know how I did not see it.
Dark City.
I haven't seen The Crow either, by the way. The original one.
Looked to be an even more visionary experience. With a reported budget of $27 million, around $43 million today, Proyas embarked on a journey to create a world that harkened back to the surreal landscape of science fiction movies like Metropolis, Brazil, and the City of Lost Children. Dark City would be a testament to the power of truth.
I'm starting to think about myself as being a terrible science fiction fan because I haven't seen any of those movies. I heard about Metropolis and Brazil, but I never seen it, so I can't call myself a science fiction fan anymore.
Fantastical storytelling. In that regard, Dark City is a resounding success. The entire film was shot on...
Alright, I need to Google who is this actor, because I'm gonna be bothering me and I'll be thinking about it all the time now. So it's called Dark City, and I definitely, when I'm gonna see the name, I'm like, oh yes! And the cast... Rufus Sewell. Okay, no, I wouldn't. I know him from different things, but I wouldn't be... Kiefer Sutherland, isn't it too? Interesting. At the Man in High Castle. There you go. That's how I know his face. Makes sense. Actually, I wouldn't be able to just name him from the just like that. The name. It's one of those actors again that I wouldn't be able to just point out the name.
No location shoots.
These were, at this point, they were large exhibition halls and large centres, and Alex had taken them over and built this entire street set that you could drive through and around.
This adds a sense of intentional falseness to the whole endeavor and is vital for where the story goes.
I wanted to make people feel very unsettled in the interiors, so even if there was a scene of just two people talking in a room, I didn't want a respite for the audience at that stage.
Production designer Patrick Tatopoulos reinforces a looming sense of unease around every corner, as he described in an interview with Cinefantastique. It's a city built of pieces of cities, a corner from one place, another from someplace else. So you don't really know where you are. A piece will look like a street in London, but a portion of the architecture looks like New York. But the bottom of the architecture looks again like a European city. You're there, but you don't know where you are. It's like every time you travel, you'll be lost.
And so it's some weird retro world that they kind of fabricated, and it's a mixture of stuff, you know. So you do get a very odd mix of 40s, 50s, 60s, and probably even 70s in there.
Dark City as a piece of production design alone is stunning. From the sets to the costumes.
This rule that I heard was that you should never dress your actors in a similar colour to the set. And so since I heard that rule, I was, of course, tried to break it as much as possible just to prove that it wasn't true.
To the score by Trevor Jones.
Yeah, it's just like, seriously, I'm actually really want to watch it now. Because it looks really interesting. This okay, this isn't very long, so we can just sit here in silence. I guess I can just rumble away. And so yeah, like they pointed out some different oh, this one's all long. Okay, so basically, like I said, that I haven't really watched those movies. Now I kind of want to watch those movies, but I don't know if I'll be remembering about watching it later. So basically, yeah, but Dark City, it's a movie that kind of keep coming around to like different recommendations and stuff like that, because it looks really good and really interesting, so yeah. I'm just gonna cut here because this one's longer, and I'll be back in a second. Bye! Okay, I'm back, so let's just jump into it, because obviously I don't have much more to say, to add to what I just said before, and just go back and watch more about that movie. It's really...
Everything is working in unison to bring to life a very specific vision. But what matters most is whether or not the story and characters thrive in this extraordinary world. Thankfully, Dark City punctuates itself with a thrilling mystery that ends up questioning the very nature of reality itself. The story of John Murdoch, played by Rufus Sewell, is a compelling puzzle that ends up unlocking the secrets of the story in a propulsive fashion. Speaking of Rufus Sewell, the cast of Dark City is delightfully eclectic, with singular performances from not only Sewell, but Kiefer Sutherland and Richard O'Brien as well.
Sleep now.
William Hurt and Jennifer Connelly slot in perfectly to their film noir archetypes, and you can tell that everyone involved is committed to the uniqueness of the project. Without spoiling it entirely, a huge part of that uniqueness has to do with the themes and twists of the movie. Dark City represents an era of sci-fi cinema that was exclusively asking one big question.
You happen to know the way to Shell Beach?
What is reality? We'll talk about that more a little bit later, but suffice to say that Dark City is a movie with a lot on its mind, and a willingness to execute those ideas in a dynamic and engaging way. So, with all this in its corner, why is it that Dark City isn't heralded as it should be? Well, we're going to have to take the red pill to answer that question. Dark City came out a year before The Matrix and explored many similar sci-fi ideas as a blockbuster smash. In fact, a number of films in the late 90s, such as Existenz, The 13th Floor, and The Truman Show,
Well, in case I don't see you, good
Truman
afternoon,
Show is
good
very good
evening,
too.
and good night.
were treading the same existential ground. However, The Matrix was the one that truly captured mainstream audiences' imaginations and became a pop culture juggernaut.
And after anxiously awaiting the sequel, some Atlanta fans are a little out of this world.
Null pointer, runner.
Stevens, agent.
Simon, I run that.
Freeman, 713. I am a sentinel.
Granted, it was also the most action-packed and modern feeling of all those films. Interesting tidbit, The Matrix actually shot on sets that had been made for Dark City. This isn't to lay the blame solely on The Matrix for overshadowing Dark City. Proyas's film is more deliberately obtuse and distancing at first, making it a hard movie to jump right into. In fact, New Line Cinema anticipated this and had the film reconfigured to make it clearer to wide-release viewers.
It was all about not understanding what was going on. And my point, of course, was that's what the film is. I want people not to understand what's going on. It all makes sense at the end.
This includes the addition of a voiceover that spoils the film in its opening seconds.
I keep getting the same ads and ads. I'm guessing they really want me to play that game, huh? Yeah, definitely wanna watch something like that now. There is a movie that was in the Mulholland Drive that I still don't know what it was about. I don't think a lot of people doesn't know what it was about. So, yeah. Sorry, the game, this is something that the Hero Wars game, it's kinda like, oh, looks so cute, and they're fighting with those massive swords that the real person could never lift, I guess. But, yeah, we still have some time, so I shall cut here again, and I'll be soon back with you. Right? Back. So let's just jump in, because like I said, I don't really have much to add. Obviously I've seen Matrix, and there's not many people that haven't seen Matrix.
First there was darkness. Then came the strangers. They were a race as old as time itself.
Luckily, Proyas was able to release a director's cut of the film years later, and it is easily the preferred version to watch. However, Dark City might just be too weird to ever truly click with a large enough number of people. That's probably why it has stayed an oddity that film and sci-fi fans adore. Movies that manage a genuine sense of originality are often so particular that only particular tastes will savor it. Dark City is unabashed in its eccentricities and relishes the hypnotic, mystifying world it creates. That spellbinding aura won't work on everyone, but those who do find themselves lured into the shifting corridors of this puzzle of a film will be rewarded with an adventure that is unforgettable, a true masterpiece of the era. Open your mind and see the truth.
When the marimba rhythms start to play.
Are there any 90s sci-fi flicks you think we should cover on this channel? Drop a recommendation in the comments. And make sure to subscribe to the channel because more subscribers means even more videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Giant Freaking Robot.
Definitely did get my interest now to actually watch it if I would have a chance. How the 90s scariest sci-fi space movie was destroyed by the tank. Interesting. The 90s sci-fi sequel that became a mega franchise disaster redeemed. Oh, this is Alien from Alien 3. This is Ripley going down into that molten metal and stuff after she found out that. Here, I'll show you guys. This is what I'm talking about. This piece here, isn't it? Of course, there will be ads first. Yeah. Oh, anyway. So let's see. Title: Mega franchise disaster redeemed at last. When I saw it, was not happy. Yeah, that the Newton hikes were both. Yeah, this is the Alien 3. I watched it so many times. We had it recorded on VHS, and I didn't have the beginning because we recorded from TV, and I didn't. For some reason, I was kind of late with that. Anyway, Alien is one of my favorite franchises. Anyway, you can watch it anytime. And even those bad ones like Alien vs Predator and things like that, I actually don't mind. It's still enjoyable to me. So this one, The Dark Knight, was really good though. The video, I mean, I really have to watch the movie now and kind of see for myself. Hopefully I'm gonna get the director's cut. So yeah, okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you tomorrow. Bye!